Alright, so there's not going to be much to this video. It's just glass beads again. I'm currently in Syracuse at the Pilot. So video quality should be a little bit better now. I finally went and got a new cell phone. I honestly could go and get the GoPros and stuff like that, but at this point in time, I'm lucky to be able to do what I'm doing. Once I get my other truck on the road, then I might be able to start buying some more cameras and being able to do some more footage, but quite frankly, even when I did have the GoPro before, years ago, when they first started coming out, I think I used it a few times, but after that, it was more of a nuisance. And the more nuisance this is, the more of a pain in the butt it is, the more steps that's needed to be taken in order to do the videos. It doesn't become productive. Not to say there's no quality in it, just I'm not productive with it. I don't want to grab 1,000 different images and spend my time on the computer putting this stuff together and putting it up. So even though I could go and get the GoPro or a different camera, the only thing I'd really like to do is to kind of mount a camera on the back with maybe like a solar charger to keep the battery up. And I wouldn't want an expensive GoPro for that, so maybe just a cheap camera for back there for when I'm getting loaded and stuff. Some of the loads, it just won't make any sense to have it on. I mean, I'm going to leave it on so that it's on all the time. Maybe get it so it can overwrite itself after so long, and I can just pull the camera on every day and download any day that I was loaded or something, where I could have some film, have some footage to upload with getting loaded or getting unloaded or whatever. If I got insulation like ISO roofing insulation, that doesn't make any sense. It just covers the first two bundles, everything's covered, and you wouldn't see anything anyway. With that said, I have a new camera, so I have a new phone, so the quality should be a lot better now. I got the S25 Ultra, so we should be able to get much better road footage and stuff like that. I also got a lot more memory, and I've been trying to catch up my videos. Of course, I'm always saying that. When I go home, I don't want to do anything. However, this past weekend, while I was at home, I'd already gotten 3 videos uploaded, which at this point in time, today's the 29th, I had a video post yesterday, I had one post today, and I have one posting tomorrow. And then tonight when I get done, I'm going to work on one for the next day, for Thursday. And that one, which is going to be the 1st, May 1st, I believe. May 1st, that one's a whole thing of me strapping and tarping, and I don't know how much I'm cutting out of it, but it's pretty much going to be like a montage going through everything. You guys will have already seen it by the time you watch this video. How much actually makes it in this video, I don't know. I just loosened up my camera mount a little bit, so it might be falling on you. Anyway, back to the load. I picked up in Potsdam with the glass beads. I slept there last night, woke up about 8 o'clock this morning. I got there about midnight last night. I drove over, got loaded. Oh, well, I should say I had to do a lot of waiting this morning. I don't think he actually started loading me until about 9 o'clock, 9:30 maybe. And I had already had all my straps together and everything. So as he started loading, I got a few of the straps started, and then I had everything cleaned up and ready to go. By the time he put down the last one, I was pulling out of there so the next guy could get in. I went down the road a little bit and finished strapping and tarping. And like I said, we just left Syracuse, and we're going to Kawlin, Kawlin, Michigan. Got to deliver there tomorrow, mid-morning, late morning, and then I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm most likely going down to Louisville. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to deadhead down there. I have to get my inspection done. I don't want to try stopping somewhere along the way with a load and end up calling something out, and now I'm stuck on a load and having to fix something. So I think I'm just going to end up deadheading down to Louisville tomorrow and getting that done. I don't think there's going to be any issue. But just in case, I want to make sure that I'm ready for it. So that's all I got. I'll probably throw getting unloaded tomorrow on this as well. But before that, I'll let you know where I end up stopping for the night. Alright, so we just got loaded. I haven't done a video since I left the house. I ended up doing a Potsdam load over to Michigan, and then I deadheaded down to Louisville to get my truck inspection done. The truck inspection went pretty good. I actually had the same shock, was loose again. And I just didn't shake it hard enough. He got down there and he shook it really good, and I thought it was good. That was one of the things I made sure that was good, but obviously I didn't make sure good enough, so it is what it is. I had to do that. I had to do the reflection tape that I kept forgetting about on the mud flap. I'd walk away from it, go to order it, I'd get sidetracked and forget all about it. I had a screw in the tire. That was nothing. It was this little itty bitty thing that was sticking right inside the tread, so I just popped that out and it was fine. And then my mud flaps were still on the catwalk, and they didn't want them there unless there was a strap on it, or unless there was a strap on it. So they didn't want the bungees holding them down. So whatever. I took them off. I stuck them behind the tarps on the headache rack, and popped that screw out. I put the DOT tape on. They actually gave me a piece of DOT tape, so I didn't have to worry about it. That shock. I went and spent $260 on tools. I could have spent a heck of a lot less just to have one of those mechanics there tighten it up real quick, but the threads just had, I don't know, they were just caked up with stuff. I could not get it to break free or to go towards tighten. So I ended up going to Harbor Freight. I ended up buying sockets and wrenches and a ratchet, 3/4 inch drive, and even once I got the wrench and the ratchet on there, it was still, and it's an 18-inch ratchet, I still went through a hard time to get that thing broken loose. I basically loosened it up a bunch, sprayed it down with WD-40, and then I tightened the crap out of it. So it shouldn't give me any more issues. I'm going to double check it this weekend once we get stopped, and we'll see how it ends up. This morning, which is Friday, I booked the load that I just finished loading, and it's already, I got here at 2:40, 2:20, and now it's 6 o'clock. Lots of time waiting, and then I had my ratchets were all gummed up, and I was going to throw 6 ratchets on here, and I ended up throwing 8 ratchets on here, and I ended up throwing 5 ratchets and 3 snap binders. So this weekend I got to sit there and try to break them free and get them cleaned up so that I don't have any more issues, which I will. The way they're positioned on the headache rack and the way I have to have my trailer, even though that this has the quarter fenders on there, it still has a big gap, and it still throws the mud and the dirt and the dust and the sand and everything from the tires up to the headache rack, and the binders and everything just end up getting gunked up. So my only way to avoid that is, 1, put a tarp over top of the headache rack, or 2, start carrying the binders inside the box inside of a bucket or something along them lines. That's the only thing that I could possibly do to that would make any sense. Or start cleaning them off every week for the possibility that I might have a load. When I might throw chains and binders once every couple months, and then there might be a month here or there that I'll throw them a couple times a month, but it is what it is. Until we get the other boxes, I'm just gonna have to deal with whatever we got. I just finished up after I pulled out of the awning here. I'll show you here real quick. Just a little quick preview through the mirror. We were in that awning there, and then that's the load. Back out a little bit, and we were right where that truck is. Normally, I would have gotten loaded. I would have pulled straight out here so that next guy could have got right in there, just because that's the type of person I want to be. But I seen them storm clouds coming. I could smell that rain coming. I said, I'm not going to go stand out there in the rain. And sure enough, 2 seconds after I finished, it started coming down harder and harder. It was already sprinkling, but it started coming down a lot harder. Yeah, so that's all I got right now. Until I get my camera settings all done, in case I forget to do it in editing in a couple weeks, the videos might be flipped for a little while. I'll try to get that fixed tonight if I remember. I did get a new phone. I got the S25 Ultra. The camera seems like it's going to be a lot better, a lot clearer, so we're going to get a lot better road footage. But I've been trying to hold off on the road footage because I'm really trying to get these videos out and caught up. I've been doing fairly well. I got to finish doing an edit for tonight, and I was going to release it this afternoon, but I'm going to have to do it on Monday. Today, actually this evening, I already have a video sitting there waiting to go up, so I'm just gonna upload that, and that'll just be a road footage, back road New York, road footage music video, I think is what I'm gonna title it. And then Monday I'll have the load in Potsdam, where I'm doing all of the securement and the tarp and everything. It's gonna be a decent sized video. You guys will have already seen it by the time you watch this, so I don't really need to mention it. But anyway, yeah, that's it. If I got something else to say this weekend, I'll let you know, and if not, I'll see you at the delivery. We are heading down to Lowell, Arkansas, however you want to pronounce that, Lowell. But for right now, even though I spent all day yesterday and the night before at Mercer. I'm gonna head back to Mercer now. I can get changed out of these clothes, take a shower, and do some laundry. We're over here in Richmond, Kentucky, so we're not very far from Louisville. And going to Arkansas, we're actually going back past Mercer, which is going to be a little bit unfortunate because I guess it's Derby weekend in Louisville, so traffic is going to be fun. But it is what it is. All right, good morning. Made it over here to the delivery. We're gonna line up over here by these reels and just had to check in with the guy over there at the door. And we're over here by I guess they own this warehouse too. Well, that's their warehouse. Either way, we'll pull in the gate now and get everything on strapped and whatnot and ready to go. And then I don't know what I'm doing from there, but we'll figure it out. Alright, so we're all finished up here, got everything put away. Stupid coil racks all thrown in my side box. I really got to figure out something else with them things. This load didn't do too good. It was $2.24 loaded. But it came out to $1.21 for all miles. It's a 45.7% deadhead. 605 miles that we deadheaded and 720 loaded. That was mostly because when I delivered the last load up in Collin, Michigan, I delivered that on Wednesday, the 30th, and that was my last day for inspection. I had to have my inspection done. I was put out of service the next day, so by that afternoon there was no way I was going to really find anything to head me down towards Louisville. I was already looking at the beginning of the week to try to get something going down there, and just for the simplicity, just for the simple fact that there might have been something wrong, which there was minor things that, but if I would have had to pass the load off to somebody else, and possibly lose even more revenue on it, so it sucks. That alone was like 400 and something miles for deadhead. 471 miles. It was only 100 miles from Louisville to go pick up the load, which would have looked a lot better. I can actually do that. Let me see, minus 508. 505. So it puts us at 100 miles. So it would have been, if we didn't count that deadhead, which I will always count that deadhead, whatever miles I put on the truck I count, that would have put it at $1.96 a mile if my actual deadhead was from Louisville. But I got my inspection done. We're good for another 6 months, so it is what it is. That'll hinder my all miles for the month. It'll drop down the average there, but being that it's the first load of the month, I'm not really worried about it, because the rest of the loads for the month will increase that pretty quickly, especially if I get a couple more tree loads. So it's kind of my goal, get back up to New York and get some more tree loads. Right now I'm just going to head down to the truck stop and see if I can find another load. I'm looking. So far, there's only things going to like Long Island City, and which is Queens, New York. I'm pretty sure Long Island City is Queens. It's been so many years. Long Island City, New York. Yeah, Queens. Yeah. And that's off of 678, I believe. I got the city all mixed up here. No, it's not off 678. 678's over here. Lincoln Tunnel. Yeah, it's in the middle of all that crap. I'm not going to Long Island City. It barely pays $2 a mile. So it's not even worth taking. So we're gonna go down truck stop, see if we can find something. I'm either thinking we're not too far from OKC, so I could possibly go over to Norman, Oklahoma and grab some AC units, or I can truck over to Blytheville, which is about 300 miles from here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Blytheville, about 300 miles from here. There's no straight shot going there, that's for sure. You gotta drop down to 40 or take a ton of back roads. Yeah. No, that's a good 5-6 hour trip, so I'd have to pick up something tomorrow or late tonight. Or Kansas City, which I really don't want to go up there either. Those loads kind of, I like pulling them, but they're the pay wise they suck. So that's it. We're gonna go down to the Pilot. I actually took a road over here this morning. We were 3 miles away, and the road I took this morning was no through trucks. Oops. When I turned on the road, I like caught the sign right at the last second as I was already turned on. My main focus as I was making my turn was I could see the lights flashing, the yellow lights flashing for the school zone. And then by the time I had just caught it, the last second, I'd already seen a sign prior to that on a different road, so I knew what the sign said when I seen it. And then when I got to the end of the road, I looked back in my mirror and I seen the same sign. So definitely a oops moment, but it wasn't like anything low or high, or they just didn't want trucks on that road. So I found a route down here. We're gonna go over to the Pilot, and we'll sit there for a little while. And I'll end this one here. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe.